На сцену приглашается Федор Музалевский.
We'd like to give the floor to Fedor Mozalevsky, the RTM Group Technical Director.
Всем привет.
Hi, everyone. Please raise your hand if you are a hacker. Please raise your hand if you are a hacker. So I guess they don't want to be known because they know that they can be punished for being a hacker. My name is Fedor Mozalevsky, and for 15 years I've been specializing on forensic. So it's the post-investigation part of the process. Here you have the standoff, CTF, sandbox, blue team, red team. The investigations in their case focus on the techniques. However, there are investigations focusing on the legal domain. And, you know, being a hacker in a legal environment is not that romantic. There are lots of details that you can be punished for.
Меня все увидели, да?
That's me, and I guess I passed the biometrics test. The very first thing I want to mention is very delicate, but many people tend to forget about that, or they ignore it on purpose. Being a hacker and doing pen test requires a license. It's a licensed activity. You don't have to read all of that, but you cannot just pen test a website or an app. You have to be licensed, or you have to be on the staff of a company that developed the file or the app. And of course, this activity will not result in any disastrous consequences, but the tax authorities might, punish you for that. As for the criminal code of the Russian Federation, you have to know the articles about from the criminal code. There are several articles covering activities of hackers, and they cover pen testers 100% as well. Of course, they have to prove the purpose of your activities. But for a couple of cases, pen testers were never subject to the criminal articles. Let me share with you the following case. Let's say we have an internet provider with a couple thousand subscribers, and one of the hackers just sent on internal XPS scan, and he emailed them a request to change their passwords. But one of them turned out to be an employee of Federal Security Service. He was not imprisoned, but he had problems with finding a job. He spent a lot of amount of money on a lawyer. So illegal access to computer information is something that you have to keep in mind. If you pen test something, you have to be clear that you were provided the information. Personal data protection article was approved last year. Keep this in mind. Law enforcement agencies have their plans, and very soon they will get a plan under Article 272.1. So if you come across personal data, do not go near it. The next part concerns Article 273 of the Criminal Code. So it's about exploits, if you know what I mean. Actually, it's about any software that helps you hack systems, and most of the verdicts are linked to these articles. For instance, you find an exploit, you post it on your Telegram channel, someone reposts it, and you can be subject to criminal punishment under this article. Another important article is Article 274.1. It pertains to critical infrastructure, similar to 272.1. It stemmed from Article 274. Before you pen test something, make sure that it's not part of the critical infrastructure, because any breach of the rules and you're gonna be put in front of a firing squad. Well, we've been talking about white hats a lot. The change, the amendments to the law pertaining to white hats are still being discussed. They have not been approved yet. For the time being, unfortunately, white hacking is outlawed. There are a number of exceptions, but actually, you cannot, for good reasons, pen test a website just to inform an admin about possible vulnerabilities. You can't. You can't. And if you use an exploit, then you will be subject to several articles in the Russian Criminal Code. So, what do we do to make sure that we don't have to hire lawyers and rake our nerves over that? First and foremost, a pen test should be covered by a contract. Like I said, you cannot just for a good reason scan the website of your university and tell them about the vulnerabilities. You have to have a contract and specification requirements covering what you need to do. Scan traffic, scan ports, launch malware, whatever. All these activities should be part of the specification requirements, and you have to have a permission. If something is not covered, make sure that you include it in an addenda to the contract. Oftentimes, an acquaintance of yours might ask you to pen test your website or a smartphone, but you're going to be, both of you are going to be punished. I already talked about the employers. There is an exception. You might be on the staff of the company that developed an app, and as a freelancer, as a private entrepreneur, you cannot be a pen tester. However, if you are hired by the company who owns the website, then you can. Another important thing, you can only pen test anything on your own in labs. For instance, during the PhD Fest, you can use the standoff CTF sandbox to do that. If you find any vulnerability in real life, don't go near it. Just be on the safe side. Right. So, as for not so obvious things that should be mentioned, critical infrastructure. We've been talking about critical infrastructure for a very long time. Communications, communication providers, healthcare, oil and gas, space, nuclear industry. These are just a few examples to name. And the probability that you will come across a critical infrastructure facility is way above zero. So avoid the critical infrastructure as much as possible. As for the second category, just make a screenshot so that no last names are visible, and you'll be fine. Another important thing, make sure that the customer is the owner of the resource you are about to pen test. We were approached by a company who asked us to test 3 of their websites. We signed the contract, and they said, we have a 4th website, we're going to give you more money. We will tell them, let's sign a contract, and they say, we'll just pay you more money. The 4th site was similar to the first 3 sites. Is that yours? Yeah, it's ours. It's part of the group of companies. Actually, it turned out it was the website of their competitors. So they wanted us to test for vulnerabilities in the website of their rivals.
So you have to get their signature on a paper saying that the other party is not against the fact. Because if the other party objects, then there is a good probability that law enforcement may be interested in your activities. So if you want to train your pen testing skills, the legal option is to go for bug bounty. There are 3 legal, or rather, legal platforms here in Russia: bug bounty has advantages and disadvantages. Advantages are that you can get your hands on something that can be pen tested. You can make a bit of money, and you can also improve your skills. So bug bounty in this respect is useful. And besides, you also get legal support with bug bounty. There is no issue with respect to intellectual property. There is no issue with respect to the ownership of the target, licensing, etc. So maybe it's not the perfect option, but at least bug bounty gives you some legal protection. And to monetize that, monetization, hackers, even white hackers, are not all altruistic people. As to disadvantages, then obviously if this is a normal platform and you are registered there, then if you do find something, this will be known. Some people would like to stay in the shadow, just do some good deeds and find vulnerabilities and get some money. But if you do it on a platform, your name and your discovery will be public. You can't use destructive or aggressive checks. It's a kind of a paradox. You have to prove that you found a DDoS or DOS vulnerability, and at the same time you can't use aggressive destructive checks. So you have to read the fine print carefully. As to if it doesn't matter for offline systems, but for productive websites and apps, this is a very important limitation. And there is another disadvantage. A bug bounty platform is an aggregator. If you've ever traveled in taxi in Moscow, you know what taxi drivers think about the Yandex as an aggregator. They think that they're the last link in the food chain of Yandex, but bug bounty platforms do value the hackers operating on the platform. But again, for these platforms, the experts, the hackers, are not the most important component. Basically, I'm done. If you need me for more questions, I'm not far away. The QR codes are here.